Welcome back to part 6 of our series,
Ooh.
Twin Flames, A New Earth.
A New Earth.
And in this series, we're talking about what it is the New Earth after Harmonious Union will look like. A world of twin flames in Harmonious Union, a world of heaven on earth.
I like that.
And in this video, we're going to talk about what family would look like.
Ooh.
And my God, this is a rich, in-depth subject that we're going to discuss. And
so this is like, when we're talking about family, we're talking about in the New Earth, it's, you know, both parents are
twin flames.
Twin flames, like harmonious twin flame union.
And that doesn't mean that, both parents of the child are, the biological parents of the child necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, maybe in a few thousand years or maybe less, parents will only be twin flames and children will only be parents to twin flames. In this video, we also going to talk about educating children, raising children, talk about soul family and soul pets as well. So we got a full docket, a very, very rich video. And in fact, our soul sister is supposed to be coming home sometime soon. So she
maybe in this video.
Yeah, we may be hearing her in this video. We got another log on the fire, and
so let's get into the content.
Okay, go ahead.
They know there's a fire.
I love the fire.
Okay, so what was the first point of bullet point?
Well, family. What does a family look like in the New Earth?
Well, immediately what comes to my mind, and because I'm talking from my personal experience of. Jeff and I are preparing to have a baby.
Well, let's first things first. Before that, twin flames.
Yeah.
It's two twin flames together in harmonious union at the center of every family.
Right.
And from there, go ahead, continue with what you're going to say.
Well, we already made that point.
I just wanted to rephrase it.
Well, don't want to waste time.
I'm not waste time. We're talking.
No, people like to hear the point.
Keep going.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone.
I'm not sorry.
Yeah, okay. So my point is that, like twin flames, and like I was just saying, and then we got interrupted. We're planning on having a baby, and so we're already like moving into that reality of like, well, family and the New Earth. And to me, obviously, like it's all very consciously done, and I think, for those people who would like a child, like I don't know, it's just really easy with your
consciously done.
Yeah.
Instead of, and this is really key about family planning.
Yeah, like
instead of oops, I guess we're gonna have a baby on the New Earth, a child would be seen as a very sacred and extremely important thing.
Very, very intentional.
Very valuable.
Like I've been planning this since I was 3 years old. Like I knew in my heart and soul, like at the very beginning of this life, like I'm gonna have a child. Yeah. And then when we got together, like we were both very clear from the very beginning of our early courtship, like we desire a family, we desire to have a kid. And so like this is something that's been planned forever. And even now, like we've been married almost 4 years now, and sure, like nothing's really stopping us, except we have a plan. And we're going to abide by that plan.
We know what it takes to give our child the life we want to give to it.
Right.
And so we've spent, all this time preparing for this child.
We realize like the power of like the importance of support when you're going to create a family. You really need to set yourself up successfully so that you're not taking from a place deep within yourself that is like a finite resource and
drains you.
And it drains you. I've seen this. I've been following this.
Plenty of people.
Plenty of people do this. This young mom she's also married. Not to her twin, and I can see they're deeply like their well is drying up, and they have like a 2-month-old.
They're draining,
and they don't understand why, because they're financially well off. They've been together since high school, and their families support them. So like, why are they really drained?
And it's because of in this instance, a lack of emotional maturity,
right.
And a deep understanding. Oh, I hear the clicks and clacks of our sister arriving. A deep understanding of what what it takes to raise a kid.
Right. And This is all gonna be shown in detail, like when we're gonna get pregnant, I think in about 12 months time. And so we'll be recording, we'll be talking, we'll be documenting it, and we'll be sharing this part of our lives with you guys because we think it's really important to share it. We call it family harmony. That's what we've been calling it this whole time. And so like this is something that's going to continue to unfold, but basically it's just harmonious. Like you and your family are harmonious. You have harmonious twin flame union. That harmony begins to extend out into your family structure.
So I want to go into a lot more depth into this part, but I think that we need to help our sister get the groceries in and get settled so we can go deeper into the
Okay, so we pause it? Is that what you're talking
we're
about?
going to pause. You're not even going to notice the difference. It's going to be like this. Pazza! We're back. You didn't even know there was a difference, but it's been some time that's passed. We put a log on the fire, and we're ready to cozy up and continue this delightful conversation. So we're talking about family planning, raising a child, and understanding the immense responsibility that there is in raising a child. And my generation understands that our parents, while they tried and probably did better than the previous generation, most of them didn't really quite get it yet. And I feel like this is probably as old as time, that the children don't feel like their parents did a good enough job parenting them and end up having to do a lot of the work themselves or do a lot of work that they felt that their parents should have done for them.
And then make changes in their own parenting style with their children,
but in the new earth, parents will understand exactly how to parent their children so that the child grows up into a mature, prosperous, healthy, emotionally balanced, functioning adult.
Right.
A productive member of society who lives their dreams and finds their one true love and, lives life in happily ever after.
And I actually think that, marriages will begin to start earlier in life rather than later in life.
Yeah, that's a really good thought, actually. Because you'll be meeting your twin flame in the new earth very young. And
very young.
What's the point to not get married at 18?
The ideal is you meet your twin flame as a child, and you can have harmonious union as a child, and you're best friends. I mean, there's no lover stuff until you're more mature, and that naturally happens. And then kind of around 18, or if the youngest twin flame turns 18, legal adult, then you're probably ready to be married.
Get married and start your life together.
Like, there's no point. What are you gonna wait? What's waiting around for? What are you waiting around for?
We also see on the new earth that people are functioning because of this better parenting. People become productive members of society and functioning adults much earlier in life.
Right.
So by 18, you're able to afford your own stuff and live your own life because you're already living your purpose.
Yeah, you're ready to fly the nest, and everyone feels good about it. You feel good about it. You feel equipped and ready. There's none of this it's a new psychological term called emerging adulthood, and it's the time of like 18 to 25 years old when a person is still figuring themselves out, figuring out, what am I going to do with my life? What am I here for? Like, what do I desire to contribute? How am I going to make my income? And a lot of that will be resolved because of the way, education and parenting will be done.
In the new earth, education will be less of a blanket statement for all people, and more of an individualized process targeted per person to exactly what they need and desire and require for them to live their life purpose.
Right. Like, there are some kids, all they want to do is just read, and they don't want to be bothered with anything else.
Bill Gates is a good example of that.
Bill Gates, actually, he was that child, just wanted to read books and be left alone in his room. And, he had to balance that, I guess. That by the pressure of family and society saying, well, you need to be involved in sports and you need to be well-rounded. But I think every soul is different and unique. We need to move our education towards supporting the individual as a creative person rather than
a cog in a machine.
Right, cog in a machine, right. And go to a job as in like a factory and just be a cog. But
right.
you know, and it's not to say like, you know, some souls are definitely meant to be, I don't want to call it a cog job, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's where their focus is, like, hey, like,
there's no such thing as a cog job.
There's no such thing as a
the
cog.
New Earth.
Thank you. Like, that's
and we'll talk about that more when we're talking about, you know, economics. And
right, like.
But it does go hand in hand with this. So we also wanted to talk about in this one soul family and soul pets. So what is the role of soul family on the New Earth?
Well, in my personal experience at this time, like the role of soul family is really like your primary family unit. And
so
yeah,
soul
I don't
family,
know.
Soul family, if you don't have a definition yet, is, you know, the family that you were created to be with eternally.
Right. So.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be born into, you know, your soul family. In the New Earth, we foresee biological families are still not entirely soul families, because soul families can be you know, well partnered with other soul families and give birth to twin flames of the other soul family members, so that you know, for biological reasons,
like their soul families befriend other soul families,
and you know, birth their soul family through their soul family. So soul families and biological families are intimately interwoven together.
Exactly, yeah.
But in the New Earth, people know and have identified their soul families, which is their eternal family. And they relate to them as such. And they know and have identified their biological families as soul family or not soul family, and relate to them as such.
Yeah.
So they're not, you know, hurt if a biological family member goes off to be with their soul family. You know, and leaves the biological family behind. There's a
deep understanding and non-attachment.
And it's these soul families in the New Earth that function together as an eternal unit rather than a temporary thing. And people will understand the wheel of birth and death. And if Grandpa's going to die soon, you know, well, maybe his great-granddaughter will give birth to him again in the same family. And, you know, leave his favorite chair for him.
That's so sweet. Yeah.
The family legacy, the idea of family legacy and family heirlooms and family wealth in the New Earth will be a much stronger idea, allowing you to carry the work of your previous lifetimes into the next lifetime and maintain it within the family unit. And this is going to actually create a much deeper sense of family rather than individual success. So you'll be working for your family's success because that's something that's sustained and permanent, versus your own success, if you're doing it apart from your soul family, which is a permanent fixture. You know, your individual success, you can't take it with you. But your soul family's success and that legacy, that ancestry, can carry it forward and provide you momentum forward lifetime after lifetime after lifetime.
Right.
And we foresee in the New Earth, this will be understood, and this will be held very, very closely, and families will become a very rich, very powerful, functioning element of society, rather than what we see today as this. Some can be very loose, and you know, very rich families have a very strict, you know, tradition in how they carry wealth forward. But it will be much more relaxed and much more powerful at the same time, much more direct. A way to keep the wealth of the family, and I'm not just talking about money, but the great riches of a history. So, there was one other thing we wanted to talk about.
Soul pets?
Soul pets!
Yeah, soul pets.
Soul pets will stay in the New Earth, you know, within the family. And soul pets are more of a family affair, you know, than necessarily an individual affair. Although many soul pets are like designed for particular individuals within the family. But we foresee in the New Earth that families keep sacred and they're soul pets, and they keep them around
Yeah.
as it is appropriate for the family and where it's at.
And you know, an easy way to kind of identify a soul pet is they feel like a soulmate, for lack of a better word. They feel like your soulmate, and it's beyond the, you know, oh, I just really love my animal loves me. Like, you can watch a lot of like videos about, you know, a particular cat or dog or pet that there's a special or unique bond with that individual, and that's usually a soul pet.
And you know if you got a soul pet.
You know in your heart if you have one, you can feel it. Yeah.
Yeah, like Fabian and his 2 cats.
Yep, 2 cats, and Charlie, our dog, is a
course.
soul dog, and we got 2 other dogs not yet born that are soul
What are the names
pets.
of those soul pets coming?
Quiet Angel and Little Bear.
Oh, we let Charlie name them.
Yeah, we let our dog name his siblings.
And furthermore, speaking of soul pets, the communication between people and animals will improve dramatically. Like we just told you, our dog named our dogs to come, and that's the level of communication that we enjoy with our dog Charlie.
Oh,
and you
yeah.
can watch any videos with us and Charlie, and you can see, you know, we understand him and he understands us, and we're communicating very clearly with one another in a very healthy and normal way. And many people communicate well with their pets. They just don't. I think a lot of people who do that, they know that they're communicating with their pets, but they don't really trust that that's what's actually happening. And but the reality is, your pets know what you're saying.
Your pets do know, yeah.
They're telepathic, and they
You
know
think that, oh, my animal doesn't understand me, but they actually do.
They do.
Even things you think they wouldn't understand,
they do.
they understand. Yeah.
Well, they're talkative, you know.
So, yeah. Remember,
it's
there's
like Dr. Doolittle over at our house.
There's ears everywhere. Yeah, they do hear and they do
and
understand.
they're so wonderful and loving and accepting.
They are, yeah. Very sweet.
So, we covered all the subjects, I think, of what family is going to look like on the North.
It's going to be very harmonious,
A
very
wonderful
conscious.
experience.
Yeah, it's going to be a
Healthy.
nice experience. Healthy.
And families will function together as a unit, a healthy organism of which, you know, individuals will be a part. And so we want to paint for you a perfect picture of society. And now's a great time to, you know, in the series to start talking about this.
Okay.
First, it starts the New Earth with twin flames and harmonious union. That is the fundamental foundation of a perfect world. And from there, after that, is your family, your soul family, and your soul pets come in to fill that. And so, you know, harmonious twin flame union and harmonious twin flame unions with all of your soul family, whether biologically or related or not, interwoven with other soul families, biologically related, who are made up of harmonious twin flame unions, forming communities and forming networks and forming, you know, like cities and forming towns and states, forming countries and nations. These nations form one perfect world. So if you can imagine a new earth based on love, based on harmonious union, and really actually logically built unit by unit, piece by piece, from the fundamental element of a loving harmonious union with your true twin flame.
And I think another thing to consider when you're creating and raising a family is that your child comes with a twin flame. And so really imagine that you get 2 children for the price of 1.
Someone else is going to raise their twin flame for you.
Right, someone else is going to raise a twin flame. But the ideal is almost like co-parenting that one, you know, that one unit, that twin flame set. And so keep in mind that will also be a harmonious experience, and it's going to feel very nice and freeing for you as a parent to share the responsibility of that one child. You know whose story this actually reminds me of and bringing up in my mind? No, who?
Is Keely and Colby.
Oh, our harmonious twin flame union couple, you see a lot of them on our Twin Flames Universe YouTube channel. Go check them out.
Oh, they're wonderful.
Yeah.
And so, like, Colby is very close with his biological family.
Yeah.
Who's not actually his soul family. And yet, that family bond is still very strong.
Very real,
and Keely, you know, obviously still not you know, soul family with his biological family, is building strong, you know, familial bonds with them, even though it's not soul family. And that's an important aspect of the new earth. It's not soul family only, fuck everyone else.
No.
You know, it's soul family and biological family intimately interwoven as your earth family.
Yeah, because we're connected to other soul families.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, eventually in eternity they may no longer be connected or close or family. Maybe they will be.
Doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter because right now it's safe for them to cultivate deep, intimate relationships with their biological non-soul family. And, you know, it's a wonderful thing. And whether, you know, it doesn't matter whether it's soul family or not. If it's a toxic relationship, you don't have to be in it. You don't have to say yes to toxic relationships, no matter soul family, biological family, anyone.
Because no matter what type of relationship it is, every relationship should be earned. And that's the level of self-respect you should have for yourself.
Well put.
Yeah.
Well put. Such wise words.
Thanks.
So, thank you so much for joining us in this video. We're delighted to keep bringing you this juicy series.
Yeah.
Make sure that you check us out in video 7, the very next one.
Yes, we'll see you again.
All right. Take care.